All right. Good morning, tribe. The donut shop at the beginning of the world is open. Good morning. Drinking coffee, listening to the birds, and kind of being mad at the birds. I'll talk about this in a little bit. Other things going on? I don't know. I have no idea what today's topics are going to go through. I have a little bit because, I have a leaf here. But other than that, we'll just see as usual. Hey, good morning, Jennifer. Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Shauna. Good morning, Julie. How's the tribe doing this morning? Hey, Charles. Good to see you. Yeah, so it's getting a little hot, getting a little humid out here. And I pretty much don't have any mosquitoes in my yard, but there came one flying by while I was setting up. And so I immediately grabbed some of the American Beauty Berry leaves to crush up. Crush. I'm squishing your head. No, but crush up. It's a little sticky. Hey, good morning, Katie. And then I'm just going to wave it around. And you know what? I think I'm just going to hang it from this branch above me. So in American Beauty Berry, there are 3 compounds that have been proven as good as DEET, D-E-E-T, in repelling mosquitoes and other nasty insects of that nature. Human toxicity testing is still going on, so I don't recommend rubbing it directly on your skin. Hey, good morning, Catherine. Good morning, Eileen. So what I use it is I crush it up, because you got to rupture those cells to release the oils that volatilize and drive the mosquitoes away. And then just hang it around me, rub it on my clothing, stick some in my hat band. Hey, good morning, Donald. And in my shoe, between my shoe and my sock, just to have all around protection. But I don't have it on my skin yet this month. Oh, space station at 71 degrees at 8:56 p.m. Sunday. Cool. I need to get my ham radio out and my antenna. Excuse me. And see if I can pick it up, because that's going to be really overhead. That's going to be awesome. Hey, April. Got some news for you. Where did I put it? Just a minute. Well, April, the stuff was sent out yesterday, and I have a tracking number for you that I need to get you at some point. Hey, Louisa, have you tried whipped coffee? My wife does most of the whipping in our family. Wait, forget I said that. No, I'm trying to minimize the amount of sugar and things like that go into my diet, because I'm still trying to lose weight. Yeah, the citronella, Catherine, and maybe it's working for you, but generally the only way any of the plant-based repellents work is if you crush up the plant, so the oils inside the cells can get out and start driving things away. Oh, on the American Beauty Berry, people ask, can I soak it in water or alcohol and make a tea or a spray out of it? The answer, unfortunately, is no. The molecules in the American Beauty Berry are actually big, oily, greasy molecules, and they are not soluble, or very, 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 very remotely soluble, even in Everclear or really high-proof alcohol or water. What they really need is to be dissolved in an oil. So like torch fuel, like the Tiki Torch fuel, actually does a pretty good job of dissolving it. So you can make your own Tiki Torch fuels using American Beauty Berry leaves crushed up in some cheap Tiki Torch fuel. Hey, good morning, Serenity. Good morning, Faith. Good morning, and good morning from Dallas. Hey, how's it up in Dallas? And just to update you, I sent a list of dates in in July and August and December up to Texas Survival School there in Dallas, where I teach. So hopefully soon we'll have some classes set up there for you. So cool. That's what's going on. All right, now I'm going to drink coffee. We should all, and 1, 2, 3, and drink. Tribal bonding through coffee. It's funny, ow. Hey, good morning, Chris. Wow, from Mexico. What part of Mexico? I used to work down in the Mexican oil fields down there. That was an adventure. Slurp. So yeah, I make my coffee extremely strong. Uh, the mini weather says I'm drinking battery acid, and it's like not quite battery acid, but damn close. But then I make it strong, and then I make 2 pots of coffee out of the same. Oh, chapas. Okay, cool. Hey, good morning, Sherry. Good morning, April. Man, I miss being down in Mexico. That was a lot of fun down there. It was weird. So is there a tribe name, McGee? So I've been thinking about the tribe name, and I started referring us to the Doko tribe, donut/coffee. So Doko, but I'm open to other suggestions. So anyway, yeah, donuts and coffee. Oh, and so I soon as well, I'll probably be gone before she gets up. As soon as my younger daughter gets up, I want to assign her the task of developing a coffee-based frosting. Hey, good morning, Kelly. My girls have actually taken to making donuts now. We got a big pot of oil. It's just sitting on the stove, and they're trying different recipes and making different donuts. So, yeah, I'm thinking a coffee frosting on a donut would be absolutely fantastic. Good morning, Rick. Has anyone ever encountered a coffee frosting? It sounds like something that someone would have already invented. But one thing I learned as a scientist, there's a lot of things that people haven't invented that they already should have because it was damn simple to invent. But hey, good morning, Waxahachie. Haven't been up there in a while. Good morning, Roxana. I like Waxahachie. There's a college up there. We took mini weather or 2 a bit ago. Yeah, Nick, it sounds delicious, doesn't it? It sounds like yes. You got your donut with the coffee, or one of the cream-filled donuts, but with a coffee-based cream goo sugar thing. I think that would be awesome. Okay, Cynthia, yes, it does exist. There's a box mix. Okay, I need to find this coffee frosting. Ooh, Tina Marie. John's birthday, she made Boston cream pie with coffee icing. Okay, good. So I don't have to reinvent the wheel. Ooh, see, yeah, Danny, that's what I'm talking about. Danny Maurer said, would be nice if each donut had an espresso's worth shot of caffeine in it. I'm not talking a little bit of coffee. I'm talking a full cup of coffee, condensed into the frosting. Ooh, espresso powder. Okay, now, hello, medicine man. I'm no longer working for you. I'm starting my donut shop. Yeah, no, just kidding. Oh man, still the battles with Amazon and everything. So, again, thank you for the people who have reached out with shop contacts and so forth, brick and mortar places. We're going to start reaching out to them really soon. I organized a trip around Texas to stop at these different stores and say, hey, are you interested in carrying this? So very, very, very good thing there. Like I said, a wall is just God's way of seeing how badly you want something. Okay. And speaking of badly wanting something, you knew this was coming. Just a reminder, if you donate $5 or more, and there's a link on the Foraging Texas website towards the Get the Foraging Texas a New Computer, you go into the drawing for either a free copy of Idiot's Guide Foraging or 2 of the Wazoo Foraging bandanas. So hopefully, like I said, as of yesterday, we are 30% of the way there for what's needed. On the donation link, there's actually a list of the stuff I'm trying to get to bring my computers into, like this decade. Excuse me. We'll see. All right, coffee. So I mentioned at the beginning, I'm really mad at the birds. So here we are, June, which is about the right time to harvest the berries from the toothache tree to make a Szechuan sauces from. Because the toothache tree, that's the tickle tongue, the one with the natural Novocaine in it. And if you mix the husks of the berries. It's actually a husk, a green tender husk around a hard seed. That husk has that numbing sensation, and that is the key ingredient in Szechuan sauce. So I make a sort of East meets West Szechuan Texas hot sauce sort of fusion sauces because it's really fun. And so this morning I was checking my toothache tree to see, okay, it should be about ready. And every single berry had been eaten. They were all gone. Everyone. There is nothing, absolutely nothing left. So I'm, they say if you don't grow enough to share, you're not growing enough. Well, damn it. I'm ticked at the birds. Okay, let's see. April. Mike's weather page. Huh. I don't know Mike's weather page. I'm a big fan of Space City Weather by Eric Dude. I don't know. He's like a no panic sort of high accuracy weatherman, and it was kind of funny though because even he admitted like these recent weather patterns keep catching him off guard and surprise. His accuracy has dropped quite a bit. Charles, no, I do not know where to get red wigglers. There used to be a place here. There was a bait shop that I used to get them from for my worm composting back when I had time and any energy to do that. I know there are places online, but as we get into the heat of the summer, ordering a bunch of worms is probably a bad idea. Yeah, so sorry, I don't know. If anyone knows, so tribe member Charles Osborne is looking for red wiggler earthworms. If you have a source that you can recommend him, please post it here. Red wigglers in Mesquite, Texas. Whoa, Tina Marie, cows eat the toothache tree berries? Birds, I have a love-hate relationship with birds. I love birds. They're fun to watch. They're fun to eat. But sometimes they can, they're not on the level of squirrels. Like, arch nemesis squirrels, just random bystanders who sometimes think it is good, sometimes it be bad, are birds. But anyway, okay. Oh, Texas Worm Wrench, cool. Ben, yes, worm grunt. Man, if you have not seen worm grunting, it is really, really, really cool. Where they pound a stick into the ground and then rub the top, and it puts out these weird vibrations into the soil, and the worms start coming up. The reason I'm so excited about this, Ben, is about a year ago I was looking into that back when I was training for the Alone show. And one of the things I was practicing was collecting worms because worms are a good source of protein. So I was practicing with the worm grunting, and there's actually some scientific papers about just what's going on. And it boils down to the vibrations put out as you are rubbing the stick mimic the sound of moles tunneling through the soil. Moles are the archenemy of worms, so the worms, to escape the moles, go heading to the surface away from the moles. So just this kind of cool that way. So yes, worm grunting, great way of gathering worms. And what you're doing is you're pretending you're one of the main predators of worms and scaring them to the surface. All right. Good morning, James. Good morning, Jonathan. Good morning, Laura. Good morning, Katie. You can order red wigglers on Amazon. I wonder if they come in like a insulated cooler type thing or something. I don't know. Yeah, John, I've seen your videos on that. John Capps, great bushcrafter. Throw up a link to your YouTube channel, John. Could you please? I will also say, once the Medicine Man Plant Co. Website is up and running, you will see a picture of me wearing this cool leather hat. John Capps is the one who made that cool leather hat. It's awesome. Okay. Yeah, Ben, if you search like worm grunting mole There's a few out there, but yeah. James, 2 mil rods use current in damp soil. That's how my dad would do it. So let me just put this up. So James Gabra, you can use 2 mil rods. What my dad did is he had, just two. I think they were old spikes from rotisseries, and they were attached to a battery charger. And he would pound those into the ground, flip on the switch, and suddenly the worms would come out of the ground. It was amazing. So I guess today's topic is gathering worms. We'd also go out at night, like the night before a fishing trip, with a red hanky over the flashlight, because the red wavelengths, the worms don't react to it. I got a mosquito bite. And then we just go out and pluck the earthworms from the ground that we'd see. A lot of night crawlers and stuff like that. Hey, good morning, Kevin. Good morning. Whoop. Good morning, Ella. There's some others here. Yeah, worm wrangling. Okay. Good morning, McGee. Hey, Kevin. Been talking to your nephew, Clay. Nice guy. I like him. Hopefully we can set something up there. Okay, James, are there any morels in Texas? Yes, there are a lot of morels. Especially like in the Austin area and heading north, like even through Dallas and all that stuff. The morels, they like a high pH soil. So instead of an acidic soil, they like a basic soil. And that's one of the key things. So like where you have the Austin chalk and the limestones and things like that, morels love those. So something to keep in mind there. But yeah, the season, it's a bit earlier, but there are some Texas morel websites and Facebook pages that will not tell you where they are, but will tell you when they're starting to pop up. But the general rule of thumb, and this is to the point where people will put thermometers in the ground, but the morels, they will start flushing, they'll start growing when the soil temperature hits about 50 degrees, 50, and then we'll stop when it hits 60 degrees. So something to keep in mind there. All right. Rick Lanning, I don't know who you're talking to about the 501c. If you're talking to me, nope, I'm not. If you're talking to other people, okay, I have no idea. Yeah, so worm wrangling. Like I said, worms are actually a good source of protein. I had figured it out on when I was, like I said, I was trying to get onto a loan, and I looked up like the calories and protein and how many worms I'd have to eat a day to like stay healthy and strong and a loaning survival. And it was a fair number, but it wasn't a ridiculous number. Hey, good morning, Kathleen. So I don't remember off the top of my head, but the basic rule of thumb is an adult male needs a minimum of 4 ounces of protein a day, which is surprisingly little. But the worms, I can't remember how many grams of worms you had to eat to get that 4 ounces, but it was a doable number, assuming you didn't wipe out the worm population in the area. So that's why I was experimenting with the worm grunting and a few other things. Yeah, and of course good fish bait too. So I mean, you use some of the worms to catch fish or other things, and some of the worms you just eat. You purge and you eat. Yes, Jonathan, that was one of the books we had to eat. That was one of the books we had to read back in middle school. Hey, good morning, Don. Yeah, the red wigglers are the little guys. They're not generally the fishing ones. But the red wigglers, they're voracious when it comes to food wastes, and they're fairly non-particular in that. Oops, sorry, there's a sharp rock under my foot. They'll eat plant matter, they'll eat meat, they'll eat coffee, they'll eat whatever. So that's kind of nice that way. Purging worms. Okay, so basically it involves squeezing the worm. That's the one way, or just throwing in some water. If you've ever like with crawfish, you know how you throw them in some water first, just to get them cleaned out. Um, you can do this with worms. A little bit of salt in the water makes them throw up more quickly. But yeah, basically, if nothing else, you just kind of squeeze the goo out. Kind of like milking a very small cow filled with mud. All right. Oh, cool. You had red wigglers and super reds. Well, Kathleen, you are a super red. So, let's see. So, what else about worms? Yeah, I mean, so here's an interesting fact. It's good to harvest worms. The reason being is North America actually did not have any native earthworms. They came over with the early settlers and so forth. And everyone thought, wow, worms are great. They do all this stuff for the soil. Well, actually, now there's a problem. The worms have become so plentiful in forests that they are destroying the ecosystem. Let me explain. Oh, I love this. I love this tribe. I get to be, Professor Merriweather. So in forest, you get leaf litter. You get the detritus. You get all the leaves and stuff fall. And here in North America, the forests evolved to have a nice thick layer of this leaf detritus, however you say the word, and things live in there, and there's fungus and all this stuff, and that's great. That's how it was evolved. Earthworms show up, earthworms spread, and now what they are doing in these forests, like especially around lakes where people were fishing, and then they have worms left over, they go, I'll just dump them in the soil, and it'll be good for the soil. Well, what happens is that these worms, which are non-native, are now voracious. They are destroying this layer of leaf litter. Die, mosquito. Through the forest. And so it's completely changing the ecosystem, because now instead of a thick layer, there's nothing. And so all the little mice and all the other things and the mushrooms and so on and so forth that live in that leaf layer is going away. Yeah, look it up. Look up, the earthworms, forest ecosystem destruction type stuff. So that's one of the reasons, if you are a fisherman, please do not, dump your unused worms just, on the beach there or anything like that. Take them home, things like that. So, yeah, the worms are not native. Worms are not native to North America. So in their native habitat, they evolve there. There are parasites. There are critters that eat them. There's more moles or things like that. And the ecosystem, or the forests themselves, have evolved to live with the worms. So the European forests don't have the thick leaf litter, and the Eurasian, that whole continent there. So. Yeah, I mean, it's how long have the critters been here? 3,000 years from now, 4,000 years from now, some new ecosystem will have developed that involves worms and trees and leaf litter and new mushrooms and Lord knows what else. But yeah, right now it's actually a big problem. It is really changing the whole nature, no pun intended, of the forests. So. I guess we can hope for a invasion of moles and voles to eat the worms, but that's kind of optimistic. Whew. Yeah, your mom knew, Kathleen, that. Let me just put this up here. So yeah, she was using you as an instrument of ecological maintenance. I'm sure she actually liked you. Someone had to. All right. Hey, good morning, Michelle. We are talking about worms this morning. The good, the bad, the squirmy. The honeybees are not here. North America had tons of native bees. A lot of them are being wiped out by indiscriminate pesticide use. Hopefully uncommon bees can jump up there. But yeah, the honeybees, they talk about how the honeybee collapse and all that stuff, and how it will ruin agriculture in North America. Well, no, that is doomsaying and pandering. We didn't have the honeybees. The honeybees came over with when we came from the or when whoever came. There's different talks about where my family is from. But we brought the honeybees. They weren't the pollinators here. There were lots of other things that were doing the pollinating. So, wow, I've been going through this coffee really quickly. What time is it? Oh, wow, okay. So, what else about worms? Okay. I'll get to your question in a second, Nick. I've been over to China a number of times, and the only food that I really found was really, really nasty was what they were selling. They were called sandworms, and they were these worms. They were these giant, they were probably 3-4 feet long, thicker than my thumb around, and pickled. And they had the most disgusting flavor and taste of pretty much anything I've ever eaten. All right, where was your question there? Okay, Nick, and this is where we run into the problem. Yeah, they're great for loosening up the soil, aerating the soil, making the soil more permeable for water to come in. The worm castings, the worm poop that they leave on the surface at night is loaded with minerals. They break down the leaf litter, but like anything else, too much is a bad thing. If you could just keep them in your garden, yeah, that would be great. In your compost pile, yeah, that'd be great. The problem is they've spread everywhere, and at this point, there's the argument that they're natural. There's nothing we can do about it, so we may as well speed up the whole process and get the ecosystem changed to where the earthworms are part of it rather than fighting against it. So as far as using them in your garden, that's a call you'll have to make. Yes, they'll definitely help your domesticated garden, but the question is in the long run everywhere else. So okay, let's see. Bats. Someone said worms. For tasting food and tillers for my garden. Let's see. Sorry, there's lots of things. Kimberlin, yeah, sand dune, yeah, dune. They're like the little baby worms, but these things were giant and they were so nasty. Yeah, there we go, gophers. Yeah, see, that's the problem. Also with earthworms, if you have a good colony of earthworms, like anything in nature, once you have a good food source, something will show up to eat the food source. So, yeah, Shale Hulud. Earthworms migrating north. Interesting. So yeah, in my case, I got some rats chewing up my area instead of gophers or voles. This is turning into a Simpsons episode. Oh, all right. For eating worms, would you? So Michelle, yeah. So ideally, if you have the time, you want to make sure that the main thing is the worms just have a lot of dirt in them. Unless you're in an area high in poison ivy, they're probably not going to have much in the way of poisonous foods. I guess if they're eating some pokeweed leaves or something, but for most of the year, it's going to be more tree leaves and other annuals, not so much the poisonous things like pokeweed and so forth. The best case would just, to get some like dandelion greens or some other plants that from foraging Texas are non-toxic, and put them in a bucket with the worms and let them munch on those for 2-3 days. Okay, yeah, cornmeal is a traditional thing, but I'm cheap, so I'm not gonna spend money to feed worms to purge them when I can just squeeze them and milk them like a cow. Oh, a rat snake would be awesome, Michelle. I want one in my yard. Though I think I've been successful with the rat issue, so maybe not. What else? Okay. Oh, cabbage. Cabbage is cheap. You can feed them cabbage if you're doing it in like your house. But out in the wild, yeah, just kind of out in the wild, yeah, just use some of the non-toxic plants and give them a day or two. Ooh. Okay. Yes, James. Interesting. Yeah, this was big news about a year ago. There's a Texas plant called Snow on the Prairie that they found has a pain relieving properties. Now, the thing about this plant is very toxic. Among all the molecules in this plant, most of which are really bad for the humans, there is one that blocks nerve signals for the pain cells. And so extracting that one molecule from all the others is not something you can do at home. It requires some pretty high-tech laboratory equipment to separate the one good molecule from all the poisonous ones. So mainly the plan is to try and figure out, now that they know this molecule and it has some really interesting anti-pain properties and anti-addiction properties and things like that. The plan is probably to make a synthetic form, because that would be actually easier than harvesting a bunch of plants and extracting them. It's okay to do it on a, like 5 grams of plant and to get, 1 microgram of this molecule. But to do any sort of commercial stuff, they're not going to be able to extract it from the plants. I know, Eileen, we have the little brown earthworm snakes, and seen one coral snake, but I haven't seen any of the big ones. Yeah, Julie, it will definitely, and it won't be a pleasant death, though, is part of the problem. It's one of those convulsing, vomiting, oh my God, sort of deaths. Oh yeah, the DK brown snakes. So those little, I can't remember which are the little earthwormy looking snakes. We have a lot of those. Yeah, they're singing to me. I am their Snow White. Well, blood red. I don't know. Anyway, ooh, I'm getting cool lighting effects on my face here. Wow. So all about worms today on the Donut Shop at the Beginning of the World. Yes. So Tina, yeah, it was big news and everything. I got, when it first came out about the Snow on the Prairie having this thing, I got a lot of emails from people. Oh, this new pain relieving plant. I want to smoke it. I want to do whatever with that. How do I make a tea out of it? It's like, you can't. No. It's not. This is not something this is not, a medicine man type product. This is deep laboratory extractions. A lot of work went into it. Yeah, the bird is giving its own opinions on the worms there, Laura. Okay, adults are about. Yeah, well, the thing, if you want the medicine, oops, that's not the one. I mean, the only way they can have enough to do anything useful with it is if they make it synthetically. The molecule itself isn't that complicated, whereas the process for harvesting, extracting, purifying, all that, the price would be ridiculous. There's no one could afford it. So, hey, hi, Dad. Dad's here. Everyone say hi to Dad and Mom. How are you guys doing? I need to call you soon. We need to talk about pig hunting. But yeah, so it'd be great, but there are too many people that need this. There's no way they could do it. So that is one of the things with a lot of the people don't realize how hard it is to extract one molecule from millions in a plant, and it's usually not a whole lot to begin with. So there's just no way of doing it. Hey, Chris, you're sitting on a plane getting ready to taxi back. All right, safe travels. We'll get you on here soon. Yep. Everyone's saying hi to you, Mom and Dad. They really like you. I say lots of good things about you, not like back when I was in high school. So, yeah, after Dad, Papa Weather saw the pig hunting pictures and stuff, Tina, he's trying to figure out how to get down here. So we're going to see what happens. And hi, Mom. Hopefully that isn't surprising news to you. Okay, it is 7:59. We have one more minute. Again, thank you, tribe. Hopefully you had a good morning here. Right, said right now the world is crazy, so we need these social bonds of multiple people interwebbing with each other. That's the only way we get through all this. So at this point, I need to shut her down. I need to run off to do my medicine man stuff. So tonight, Merriweather's World, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. here on Facebook and on the YouTube. We'll be continuing elderberry. I'll be talking about the chemicals in elderberry and the effects they have on the human body. And yes, Tina, I have thermal degradation data on them. Surprisingly, there wasn't a whole lot, but I found some stuff to at least give us some rules of thumb. Wow. Okay. Lots of things here. All right. Gotta go. Really gotta go. Take care, everyone. See you at 8 o'clock tonight. All right. Bye-bye. Bye, Mom and Dad. Love you.